Hi folks, how you doing? Welcome to another video. As you can see from the thumbnail, this is going to be 5 sort of tricks to metal shaping using just basic hand tools. You don't always need like expensive equipment like bead rollers and stuff like that. You can do things, you know, quite easily with just normal tools. To prove the point of how easy it is, she's doing it. So let's crack on with the first thing. Right, so this first trick is going to be if you need to make a swage in something. I mean, if you've got, you know, a straight line, it's easy. You just use a folder or a couple of pieces of angle or something like that. But say you need to do a curve, you know, for say like a wheel arch or something like that. I'll show you this little trick. First of all, obviously, you need to sort of mark out where you're going to be. So I'm just going to sort of do that roughly on here. It'd help if you had a pen that works. So something like that. Yeah. Obviously I haven't sort of drawn around anything, but you get the idea of what we're doing. So what you need is a piece of carpet like this. You want something that's short pile and fairly hard backed. It's got a little bit of movement in it, but not a lot really. So basically you put your piece of metal on there and then you use, you need one of them and one of them, just a little chisel, and then basically all you do is very lightly just go around and tap on the line. You have to remember you need to do it from the back, so what'll happen is you're pushing down and it'll put the swage in this side. So I'll hand you over to Michelle and we'll see how she gets on. Remember, if she can do it, so can you. So you want to make sure you keep it straight, so you don't sort of the corners and that don't dig in. You want to keep it straight as possible, and then you want to do lots and lots of light taps following it all the way along. Michelle's got new glasses, so she might actually be able to stick to the line as well. Stop giggling, come on, we're teaching people. There you go, you've got a nice little swage. So, go over that again, you can see there you've gone over it a couple there. This time now, you should be able to go a lot quicker. Because you've got that in, you should be able to just follow the line and just be like, like that. So, can you get your phone and we'll show you a quick close-up. So yeah, that's what you end up with. And you sort of just keep going until you get the desired angle that you need, really. If you end up with, like we've got here, is a couple of tiny little bits, you can easily sort of just dress it out afterwards with a hammer and dolly. So, on to the next tip. Right, this is a proper super quick tip. If you need to put a straight fold in a piece of metal, obviously I've got this set up in a vise. Normally what you'd use is like just a normal hammer and then you sort of knock it over slowly. What can happen is you can end up sort of stretching the metal and then put a bow in it, or you could end up putting like little dinks in it. What you want to do, use a piece of wood and a mallet. I ain't even strap the vise down so it might move, and then knock it over. Just like that. You still have a chance that it is going to bend, but you've minimised that chance. You also don't get any little dinks or dents. Proper quick one. So with your pieces of angle that you've made, what you might want to do is sort of do a window aperture or something like that, or like a door bottom, and you'll need to put a curve in it. Now, normally you'd use a shrinker stretcher, it's a lot easier. You can put loads of little slits in it and bend it that way, weld it back up, but it just looks awful. So I'm going to show you 2 methods of being able to shrink it and stretch it. to get the curves in whichever direction you need. First thing I'm going to show you is the tuck shrinking. And normally you'd use like a little fork sort of thing, but it's got two what's-its, and then you sort of twist it to put little tucks in. I'm going to use the vice because I don't have one, because I've got a shrink stretcher and I can't be bothered to make one just for this. But there are plenty of other videos out there that show this technique. I'll just go through the basics with you. I was going to get Michelle to do this, but it's just a lot easier if I just do it rather than trying to explain to her. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to use the vice. What you want to do is put a tuck in so it goes the direction of the lip. So make sure it's upside down, and then literally just like that. With the fork, you'll be able to get a few in, obviously because it's the vice, you can only do one, but you can see I've already got a little kink in there. So give me a second, I need to get me blocks set up to do this. So as you can see, I put a couple more tucks in it, just because when I sort of held it up, you couldn't really see much of the curve. Got it clamped down, I've got a nice solid block there, and I made sure that is clamped as best as I can. The idea is you don't want it to move. And then all you really need to do is just knock the tucks out. Now what you want to do is you don't want to really hit straight down, you want to be going with the metal, so then basically it pushes into itself. So yeah, just light taps. You don't want to sort of go too heavy, you've got to allow it to sort of do its thing. You can use a little bit of heat here as well, that does help, but for the most part you should be okay as long as you've got decent metal for it. I'm actually not sure how good this metal is, to be fair. So yeah, just light taps. You can see I'm rolling the hammer backwards and forwards. It does take a few minutes because you do have to be careful with it. So yeah, I'll come back in a few seconds and I'll show you what we've done. So the tucks are sort of flattened out now. Now in theory, should be able to unclamp this and we'll have a curve. There we go, one sort of curved panel. That hasn't gone too far, I didn't go too mad with it. But yeah, if you sort of keep doing it a couple of times, as I say, if you use a fork, look for a tucking fork. I think it's called a tucking fork. As I say, I've got the shrinker stretcher, so I don't really use them. But yeah, if you can make it out a bit like a bit of rebar or whatever. Do this a couple of times, you can get it to go around quite a bit, but it does take a while. So now let's move on to the stretching to go the other way. Now that is actually a lot easier. So all you need to do basically is just use sorry?
I enjoy doing that.
Michelle wants to do it. So hold on, let me get a better hammer as well, and then she will talk you how to do it, because I have shown her how to do this before. Right, so like I said, what we need to do now is stretch. So basically the easiest way to do that is by using, where are we at there, fine points, and all we do is just keep it squared to the lip you want to go, and you just hit it down. What that does is it compacts the metal, and then as it compacts it, that metal has to go somewhere, and then it eventually just sort of stretches out. It's going, but you're not quite getting into the corner enough. There we are. just like that. So yeah, it takes a while, but you can get there. It's not the neatest way of doing it. I say a shrinker and a stretcher would be much better. They're not that expensive, but in a pinch you can do it. Let's move on to the next tip. So this last one is how to make like a joggled edge. Oh dear, I've got tongue tied there. For when you're welding. So you know, in certain circumstances you don't really want to be butt welding because it's too long of a run, get too much distortion. You obviously don't want to do an overlap because you've got that lip. So what you want to do is just put a little joggle in it. So then you've got that lip there for the extra strength, but then it'll still be flush. So I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, so to get that lip in, all you need to do is get your piece of metal set up in the vise like I have. That's probably a bit too much, but for this demonstration it doesn't matter too much. You need a bolster chisel. This one's actually probably a little bit duller than you'd want it. You want a little bit of an edge, but not obviously sharp, so you would cut it. And a big hammer. And then all you do is just like that. Straighten it back out. Again using a block of wood. And then you get that nice clean edge. So yeah, there's the bit that I just done with the step. I actually did two because the first one actually bent right around. I didn't think I did it right. You got to see the point. So yeah, when you put that up, you've got a nice flat piece. You could also sort of plug weld it across there, clamp it in. But yeah, ultimately, you know, it's a lot stronger, a lot less distortion, and then obviously a lot less filler afterwards. So there we have it, 5 super quick tips for doing a bit of metal shaping. These ones are quite basic, but we can sort of move on to some different ones if you like this sort of video. What did you think of it? Did you learn anything?
Yes, I did.
Would you be able to remember this and repeat it?
No.
Okay. We'll put that to the test one day. So, yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoy this style of video. I just wanted to do something sort of quick and simple rather than sit there and watch an entire video of something and then it's like, that's not what I want. So I'm going to try and do a few more of these where it's just quick fire tips and yeah, show you some sort of different techniques and basics on how to do things really. So yeah, please, if you can, support the growth, Mankind Initiative, you know, trying to donate money for them. So I'm growing this until April 2024 and then all proceeds that I raise will go straight to them. Please support me on Patreon if you like this sort of stuff. Support my friends, they're in the description box below, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.